All right, I'm gonna take 508 calls for QQQ expiring tomorrow. These are really expensive though. They're like 360 a piece right now. So I'm gonna scale into a small position right now. I like this 5 minute. This was a market structure shift right now, and I think we should target at least here. So that's like a potential dollar move. I have my first limit at 3.5. I may not get filled. Here, let me put it in chat right now. 1 sec. You got it at 3.53? How did you get that? You're fast. Damn, that was actually a really good entry. Nah, you guys are lying. 3.49? I literally have an order sitting at 3.5. 3.4? Nah. Look at these guys getting in before me, bro.
Man, that's messed up. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, it was 3.6 when I'm watching it, so that's like what I believe. It's 3.7 now. All right, I'm going to leave my order resting, but it's at 3.8 right now. If you're in this, literally just target the swing high. I think we'll go around like 509.6.
I do actually like this too. I think I'm gonna post my chart. I'm gonna join you on this one. Can you hear my kid in the background, by the way?
No.
Okay, cool.
Here, I'll put an alert for you guys, by the way, once you hear this ding. Sell above 5.9. What is this? What's the high of this? 509.22.
Are you guys talking again?
What?
What are you talking? Are you
I'm
on
watching.
calls?
I'm watching the cues. So NQ basically.
And you calling the previous swing high? Is that what you
On just on the 5 minute.
on the 5 minute? Okay.
Yeah, and then on the 50 minute, it's actually a little bit higher. If you guys got in, I think you guys should be up like 10%, right? Who got in at 3.5? What percentage are you up right now? Okay, I'm just gonna cancel my order. We're not going back. Up 16%. That's crazy. That's like what, less than 5 minutes? Yeah, there'll be another trade. Just be patient. Yeah, the stupid thing is I say this every time. As soon as we get a market structure shift, I should always mark it in a small position. I don't know why I'm just mentally, I just put limit orders every single time. I should just mark it in and got filled at 3.6. Yeah, AKLB, the trade is about to play out already, and whoever's in this is probably up 15%. So I cancel my order. Whoever, like, I'll just look for another trade after this. Up 23%, nice. Yeah, if you hear it a ding, just scale out at least half. I don't know why I didn't go through, but it crossed my alert. I would scale out fully here, or at least half.
Dollar doesn't stop falling down. It's way beyond the average fall.
25%? Good shit, bro. I think this is like the 5th trade I call out like in the past like 4 trading days that I don't get filled in. I would have completed the challenge if I got in with you guys.
Dion, to answer your question, I think still undecided on that. I had entered some puts around that time when I said that I would, and I closed them out for just a little 4% because we were starting to see a bit of a bounce back through that 592.5 area, and VIX started dropping. It rejected 21 as well. So at least on the short term, on the timeline of minutes, that plan was not successful. So I got out fast. I think it's still possible. SPY it's just tapping the 10-minute EMAs right now. And it looks like we're rejecting that. So I think still undecided for the rest of the day on direction. And the cues also, for what it's worth. I had to take my mic off for a sec, but I think I heard TT say to scale out, and I agree with that because it's also rejecting the 10-minute EMAs as we speak.
That's why I feel pistachio. Yeah, also look how the 30-minute closed. It's still pretty bearish. I wouldn't be surprised if the Qs retest that open on 30-minute. So we can probably go back down to like 506.5. So now I'm just gonna be patient, just look for another trade. But nothing's confirmed yet. Though I do think it's gonna reverse from here now. But we do have this swing high in the 15-minute, so I'm gonna see what happens. I'll just watch it closely. No, I didn't get filled. I had a limit of 3.5. Someone said they got filled at 3.43. I don't know how. Unless they were doing 0 DTE. Which I guess is too expensive, but Apple's actually looking good on the 15-minute. No, TM, I canceled my limit. The play already played out. If it comes back here, I'll see what the option plays at. Yeah, for this a challenge account, like majority of the trades are very quick, less than 20 minutes. So if it plays out, just cancel it. Like cancel any orders that aren't filled, and then just wait for the next play. Puts on Apple? No. Apple looks bullish. Amazon.
So I think also for folks to know, like the market's pretty undecided right now. If you look at the volume or the price range that it's kind of been in for the last trading day or two, where it was pre-market, and then compare that to where it is now, it's very much still within that range. And so when you are looking at, price action wherein you take a more sizable position and you feel and you have strong conviction with it, you're looking for it to break out of a range. When the ticker gets stuck within a certain range, that's going to kill options traders, especially zero DTE expiration. So we have we're not full porting anything right now. We're sort of just letting the market figure out which way that it wants to go. I'm talking about SPY right now and the Qs, honestly. They're both pretty much trading within the range of yesterday and pre-market today. So we're keeping our sizes small. We're scalping things. When we get a break from like a decisive break from our ranges in either direction, that's when we take larger size positions. Yeah, so the Pope. When I take that swing, it's because what I'm seeing is a couple things. Number one, Pfizer, at least for the first hour of open, is much stronger than the market at large, and so I'm just seeing some relative strength there. And then second is I'm seeing that at that 27 level is where it has been pretty reliably pivoting over the last 2 years, honestly. And it has made 3 or 4 attempts over the last 2 months to break over that level. And it's been doing so with higher lows and with holding of the 3450 daily EMA. And what we just have over the last week is the 512 EMA breaking over the 3450, which is bullish. And so, Pfizer is not like it doesn't tend to make huge moves in either direction. And it is pretty beat down. So I am looking for it to just go over that 27 level. And then I picked the 30 expiry because the next fib resistance on that chart that I posted is at 30.6. And so, I'm trying to manage my risk by getting a realistic target for the price that is within the range that I see it moving. And then to answer that second question, when you feel you're stuck in a sideways market and you do have a small position, do you just exit? Frankly, that answer to that might just be yes. If I have a play, and especially if it's a short expiry option play and things are going sideways, I don't want to get killed by theta. And so I will sometimes just take the small L. Or if I'm like, for example, in the SPY puts that I just got, if I'm like a very small percent, like 3-4% green, I'll take that. Because if the market's just going to trade sideways and options are just going to get their value taken from them from theta decay, then I don't need to become a bag holder victim of that. I'll just take small wins or cut my losses.
He full ported, of course he did. KR, I'm still waiting for confirmation. What the hell? Wait, what news, Pistachio?
So I exited those QQQ calls exactly when TT mentioned it, for that reason that I mentioned as well, that it was tapping those EMAs that I always watch. But I'm keeping that QQQ chart up. I think it's probably gonna consolidate in this range a little bit, and it's kind of looking like it might have some more upside to me. So I'm not grabbing anything right now, but if it can push above 509.7-ish towards 510, it might actually be looking to reverse and go up towards 513.
Yeah, I see it as well. There's no
You hear the
trade,
baby?
just very little. It's alright though.
Good job, hits. Little one says calls on milk. On SPY, what I'm seeing right now is that it dipped below that level that I mentioned, that 592.9, which, in all honesty, this is an example of like no system works 100% of the time. Because it's very nicely bounced back above that, and right now it's testing my 10-minute 3450 candles EMAs that I always talk about, and so I'm not jumping into any position right now. I want to see what it does here over the next 10, 20, 30 minutes. And I think one last thing to kind of mention regarding like my mentality in trading in this market is that, my opinion is I still maintain big picture. I'm bearish on the market at large. I think we have more downside over the weeks and months to follow. I think that today and maybe this week even might be a bounce. Nothing happens in a straight line. And so when I think that we are bouncing in the short term against the trend that I see in the big picture, that also informs my position size, because I am knowingly trading against what I think is the bigger trend. And so, I just will make my trades a bit smaller, minimize my risk in that way.
Rusty, I'm basically just looking at how the candlesticks close right now. So basically, for the QQQ call, the reason I took it was because this 5-minute candle closed above these 5-minute candles. So this was a market structure shift, and on top of that, we retested what time frame was this? This was the hourly fair value gap. We went into it and then closed above it. So that was reasoning for that trade, and then I just targeted the next swing high in the 5-minute, and we have one on the 50-minute too still that we didn't hit. Is the QQQ play finished? I mean, kinda, but if you're holding runners, I would just target the next swing high in the 15-minute above 510.33. But when you're in a choppy market like this, like you guys made 30% literally 10 minutes, I would just fully close and just wait for the next trade.
100%. Oh my gosh! In a choppy market, if you have a 30% play, you run with your money.
Yeah, like that call, like how long did it last? The QQQ one, it was like 10 minutes, right?
Yeah, some days like the market is just like one big green candle, and that's when you let runners go. And sometimes like, you make 30% in 10 minutes, and that's as much as you can ask for in a day if it's
Yeah.
just choppy.
So usually I say like scale out, but I don't know. At that point, it just depends up to you. I'm extremely happy with 30%. I'm extremely happy with anything over 10%. So it just depends on you guys.
Totes. I think a lot of like, FinTwit and stuff like that is big on like, look at all my 70% trades I made. But honestly, like in my goals for these trades is totally different depending on what kind of a position they are. If it's a day trade, I'm stoked with a 10%. I'll call that a win. Of course, I love a good 60%er, but I don't count on that. Swings, I definitely look for much larger percent returns. But yeah, like a 5%, a 10% on a day trade is great.
Okay, let's see. I know. I think you said Tesla. You're bullish on earlier. What's your sentiment on it still?
Let me see. I have not taken a position. My bullish sort of thesis here is that it was popping over 300 and reclaiming both. Here, let me just post my chart real quick. reclaiming both the fib levels that I have drawn here as well as my EMAs. And so I think right now it's still making up its mind, much like the rest of the market. But this is a good setup for some bullish action, and my target would be like 330. Or actually, I guess my first target would be 309, and then after that, there's really nothing. There's no resistance till 330.
Okay.
Especially on like volume point, like there's no. I'm gonna post my chart again. There's like no volume in that area over 309.
Yeah, I actually do really like the hourly. Like this, I think this would be a good swing play.
Totally. As long as it holds 300, that's the key thing. You know, it's sort of just like dilly-dallying in this area, but if it holds 300, especially if it gets above 303, 304, then it's should slingshot pretty nicely to 309. But yeah, on that second hourly that I just posted, you can see like over the 305-ish level, there's just like very little resistance. It could cruise right through that area. Ish, I haven't bought anything. If I were to get calls that are that far away from its current price, I'm looking at least weeklies. I'm not doing any, 0, 2, or 3 days to expiration kind of things. And I think Tesla will actually that's a non-issue because it doesn't have daily. That would be a swing though. That would not be a day trade. Oh, sorry. Yeah, Depoke. That's a swing. That is not a day trade. So I'm holding it for at least a couple days. I picked the May expiry so that it might take a couple weeks, honestly. Just sort of going to be patient with it, but it's a good setup for a swing. Cool. And when I start a swing, so that's another key concept. Is I said that I took a starter position. So my I would love to have a larger position, but I see the setup. I am willing to add down to about 25.6-ish area. If it drops down that far, I would grab some more. But when I take a starter, generally speaking, it's about a quarter of what I would consider for my account a full size position, and I'll add to it from there.
I'm actually liking SPY here.
I'm liking SPY here too. On that hourly I just posted it, it's bounced right off that retracement, which is a nice convergence with the EMA. Jep, I have not entered a Tesla position. I'm still watching to see what it does. But if I were in one right now, I would cut it in the 290 to 294 range.
All right, for SPY, I'm gonna wait for this 50-minute candle close. I want to see it close above the previous one. If we get a closure above 594.1, I'll probably look for calls right here. But if it closes below, obviously, then I won't be looking for calls anymore. 0 DT, I mean, that's up to you. I personally am going to be taking at least one day out, minimum. Yeah, majority of my trades are based off the 15-minute, 5-minute. So that's why I'm telling you, like, I'm waiting for this 15-minute candle to close first. Because my thesis is if it closes above the previous one, previous low, then I'll be bullish. But if it closes like this where it's at right now, then I won't be looking for calls anymore. But I won't know until 3 minutes from now when the candle closes. My God, I just got to learn Tesla. We just sweeped this 1 minute low right here.
I'm looking for shorts.
On ES?
Yeah. I'm just placing micro super quick trades. That was a short and closed already. But I'm looking to retest the lows of the day.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, if this 15-minute candle closes where it's at right now, I could see that.
Tesla, that is a not a favorable candle if you're in calls.
Yeah, I actually just checked the option chain too. Option chain. It's kind of too expensive for any plays. So maybe I'll play it out. I'll play it tomorrow or after. Did you guys send me some weird messages, man? If you're looking for a short trade, why not 0 DTE for higher delta? I mean, You can take whatever expiry you want. It's just more. It's obviously more riskier. I don't want people to get comfortable trading 0 TT because one bad trade can wipe out their account. So I mean, you're absolutely right. Like you'll make bigger profits, but your losses will also be larger. You can still make good money with week out expiries. Yeah, I'm pretty sure majority of people
I'm done
here.
for the day.
All right, Piper.
I
How many trades did
done.
you take?
I done my. I took. Okay. I took 1, 2, 3 trades. 3 trades. All
Or,
positive. $500 in profit. That's not bad.
nice. Were they all shorts?
No, no. There was a change on the 10:35 minute candle that was long, and then it was 2 shorts after that.
Nice.
Yeah. So I'm done for today. See you tomorrow, guys.
See ya. Take care, Piper.
Not risking any more here. It's very volatile day. It's very there's nothing you can predict here. It's very, very volatile, and it could do anything.
Yeah, I actually do like this hourly close on SPY.
Okay, see you guys tomorrow.
See ya,
Bye.
Piper. Take care, man. This may be a stop hunt, actually. I wouldn't be too bearish just yet. I liked how this hourly closed.
It's a nice wick.
All right, I'm actually going to look for SPY calls if we close above this fair value gap on the 1 minute. This will be a very quick trade as well. I'll be looking for 594 calls. Either probably tomorrow's expiry. Let's see. They're still pretty expensive. It's like 280 right now, but I'll go for that strike. But only if this candle closes above this fair value gap. I'm gonna mark it out this time too, or mark it in. No, I'm not in, guys. I said I'll mark it in only if this minute candle closes above. I don't have a limit order set. As soon as we get a 1 minute closure above this, I'll mark it in. I have like my order like my swipe up to submit order on Robinhood, but it's not executed. Once this 1 minute candle closes above this, I'll mark it. Why SPY not SPX? Because majority of people trade SPY here. If it closes above, it becomes an inversion. So yeah, it's currently bearish, but if this candle closes above it, it's an inverted fair value gap. Yeah, I'm looking for tomorrow's expiry. You can choose whatever expiry you want. So I'm not in this trade yet. I'm waiting for the candle to close above it. Yeah, 594 calls. All right, I just got filled at 2.85. Yeah, I took a trade on that candle close. And I literally would just target above this for like, this probably be a quick 15%. Oops. My stop would be a closure below this previous 5 minute. I'm not targeting VWAP, it just coincidentally, the VWAP is actually there. I was targeting this 5 minute sweep. So I marked out the line right at the top of this wick. Coincidentally, VWAP was just there. How long will this play run? I would hope for like max 20 minutes. Usually plays shouldn't take too long. And if we get a 5 minute close below the previous one, I'll just get out. Like 8% loss. Oh shit, I forgot to call this out actually. I feel bad, I called a little bit late in the channel.
That was a nice candle for you though, right there on the 1 minute.
Yeah, but whoever just saw that lure is gonna get in so late, I feel bad.
Yeah.
What do you mean you're up 13%? Nah, you guys are just straight up lying at this point. You're up like 2%, man. Oh yeah, 0 to E, yeah, that's right. Yeah, it's a pretty good rejection right now. Yeah, I'm still in. If this 5 minute closes below this one right here, I'll get out. I'll mark it out. But I need to see a 5 minute closure below it. If it wicks, it's fine. I'll wait for the 5 minutes close. So right now it's a little bit below it, but this could just be a wick forming. So you have to wait for the 5 minute candle to close to see if we're actually truly bearish. Your stop loss just hit. I mean, this could be just a quick liquidity grab. That's why I don't have hard stops. It's all mental stops, and I just wait for the candle to close. I marked up my targets to 5-minute swing high at 594.12. I want that to at least hit, and I have an alert resting there. Yeah, whoever got stopped out here, like, I understand you're only risking a certain percentage. I get that, but these wicks just like stop people out. You have to wait for the 5-minute candle to close. Oh yeah, no worries. What's my TV, bro? I just hit it like 5 times. Above 594.12. You'll hear the ding once the alert goes through. Actually, I think it's a penny lower. And like Spungus and I said earlier, like, just take your wins and go for next trade. So as soon as this hits, I'm just gonna fully get out. I'm not even gonna scale. But generally speaking, it's kind of good to learn how to scale out of trades. Like, let's say this was my first target, I would get out like half, and then maybe like leave half for the next swing high. But I'm pretty close in like completing this challenge account, so I'm just gonna fully get out once it sits. Are you selling? Am I not speaking English?
I think you're gonna get your move in the next couple minutes here. It looks like it's setting up.
I don't, like, bro, I don't know what else to say. Yeah, I'll put it in the chat too. Actually, this 50 minutes still looks okay. Yeah, this will also be my last trade. I have an appointment in an hour.
Yeah, here you go. You're gonna get your move right here.
Yeah, just FYI, I have like, I don't have a limit order set, but I have like my position ready to sell on Robinhood. And as soon as we hit that alert, I'm just gonna fully mark it out.
I would be really cautious after this for entering, honestly, many other big positions, because we have Trump talking at 1:30, and God knows what'll happen in the market when that goes down. So
Yeah, usually that's too late for me personally.
yeah. All right, guys, I gotta bounce, but good luck to you. I hope this spy play plays out. I'll be back in the afternoon session. If nobody's streaming, I'll stream, but I'll see you guys later.
All right, sounds good. Thanks for joining.
Yeah, peace out.
All right, take care. Bye. How are you liking this play? I still like it. I mean, the trade's still valid. You have to realize, like, I'm fine taking losses in my trades. I set my mental stop. If it, like, if it hits my stop, I just fully get out and look for next trade. Not every trade is a winner. All right, like 30 or 40 more cents higher. Hold on, let's just close this position out once this alert hits, and I'll answer any questions. All right, there's the alert. I got filled at 3.22. It's at 3.27 right now. I saw it a little bit early, but it's all right. Oh my god, bro, I'm fuck. I'm a little bit short of the 25k. God damn it. If I would have just held like 5 more seconds, I think I would have got it. Fuck me. I literally just need to hold. If I would have held it 5 more seconds, I think I would have got a better fill. I think I got filled at 3.22. If I would have taken that QQQ call earlier too, I would have been done. Nice. 18%. How are you guys always getting better percentages than me? They lying. All right, let me scroll up and I'll answer the questions. Give me 1 sec. I do have to leave in like 40 minutes though. How much? I do have some more buying power, so if I do find a good setup, I may take 1 more trade. But I don't want to rush anything because I have to leave soon. All right. Let's see. Can we short once it hits the target? Level trader, that's not a good idea because you have to wait for confirmation. Just because I'm exiting here doesn't mean it has to stop. This can keep running like 5-6 more points higher for all you know. Generally speaking, I like to teach to scale out of positions, but as Spungus and I said earlier, it's just going to take your profit and wait for something else. But like usually, like let's say this was a week out expiry and there's more time for this to play, I probably would scale it half here and then I would have marked out like other areas, like let's just say here and over here, just for an example. I have a question for you. Talk about not getting wicked out, which makes sense for intra-candle moves, but what about a big move that happens right at the end of a candle? Do you take that into account when considering a position? I don't understand. Do you mean like if a big move happens right near the end? And then that's just unfortunate. But I wait for a candle closure. Wicks, you should ignore them. Like somebody in chat said they got stopped down. This happened. Like, I'm sorry, but you were just liquidity. Like, if you would have just been patient and wait for this 5 minute candle, he at least could have gotten a break even or a little bit of profit, or just waited for the TP. So let's say this candle did close like way below here, and then I would have taken my loss, 10, 12%, whatever it would be. Not all trades are gonna win. I'm scrolling down 1 second. Would love to know how much in taxes you pay. Dude, I've been doing my taxes past week and it's I'm miserable. It's not a good time. After this challenge is completed, I am gonna restart it sometime this week, but I'm also looking to possibly do also like a swing account challenge as well. So I think last week I mentioned a stream for people that are working full time. You can still swing trade options on SPY and QQQ, because you can still trade options 15 minutes after market closes for SPY and QQQ. So let's say you leave work at 4 p.m. right, and you look at the daily candle on the SPY or Qs, you can still take a position, right, depending on how the candle closed. So let's say you saw this yesterday and you're bullish. You can take a position, let's say one all the way to like 2 week out, and just close it the next morning as soon as you gap up. Does that make sense? So obviously, I'm just giving an example. I wouldn't say I necessarily would have taken a call here, but just an example. So I think I'm gonna start that challenge where I'll try to aim for at least 2 calls a week on that one. And I've done that in the past when I used to work full time, and I've taken accounts from like 2,000 to 3,000 all the way to like 30K doing that. Because the good thing about swing trading too is like you can hold a position for like a week out depending on your expiry, and you can still make money. I'm basically at 25K. You should restart. Yeah, we'll see. I'll see how I feel after my doctor's appointment. How much do I risk to make that 2K? So I think that was I'm trying to see how much I got in. 1 sec. So it was a 14K position that I took. So let's say this 5 minute closed here and I got stopped out. Let's just do easy math. Say I was 10% loss. So whatever 10% of 14K is, that's how much I risked. But it could be less or more, just depending on when I get out. So it's 10% of 14K, $1,400. How do you decide which time frames fair value gap to reference? It depends. So fair value gaps, like there can be a bunch marked out, but you have to focus on ones that were the most important. So the ones that form a market structure shift are the ones that are important. So I think on Apple we saw one. I forgot what I was watching. Was it Qs? Okay, yeah. So it was this one right here. So before you mark out anything, you need some type of liquidity. So on the longer time frame, on the 1 day and the 4 hour, we took out this liquidity right here. Literally the first 5 minutes market open. So once you got the liquidity, you look for an imbalance, which creates the fair value gap. So on the 5 minute, it would have been, oh shit. Okay, it just broke. I don't know why, but it would have been at this wick right here. Let's see if I can fix it in 1 minute. I don't know why. Oh, there we go. So once this closed below the previous candle, that's a market structure shift, and that's when this fair value gap becomes like one of the most important ones. Some other ones are formed, like we got this one, but this one becomes the most important one because that's what changed that's what formed the market structure. And then you form it out, and this could have been a good short, but I usually don't play options before 10:30. So before you decide on fair value gap, like you have to like ask if we if we had like an imbalance form. So I'm gonna erase these actually. I'll just redraw them. So I think the first QQQ call I marked. I mentioned this. So this candle closed above these 5 minutes. So that's a market structure shift, and it formed an imbalance. So you can just mark this out right here too. So as long as we close above this, this would be bullish. Holy shit, 120 messages, man. All right, let me keep scrolling. What's my usual position sizing? It depends on the conviction of the trade. I feel like I repeat myself every day, man. My voice is so monotone because I'm saying the same stuff over and over. It just depends on the trade, man. Like, if I'm very confident in trade, I'll take bigger positions. If I'm scalping like the SPY one, I initially start with 5K only, then I added more to it. But it also depends on the capital. Like when I first started the 1K account, like I was full porting until I hit 5K. Once I hit 5K, like I guess the money just is more meaningful. So I kind of take like smaller sizes, if that makes sense. All right. No, I did not full pour on that trade. Do I use the same strategy for swings? No, actually for swings it's a little bit different. And also it's I think it's gonna be different because people that are working full time and they can't see like the chart until 4 p.m. They only have like 5 minutes to make a decision, or I guess 15 minutes. So it's gonna be different. This one's gonna be based on like candlestick anatomy. So technically, yeah, you can trade the same on swing accounts. I do in my personal swing account, but it's because I'm monitoring the charts every day. For people that can only take like a position after they finish work, it's gonna be more difficult for them. Where can you see swings in long-term shares? I'm not gonna share my long-term because I hold that stuff for like months to years. But my swings, I've shared a couple so far in the swings chat, but I haven't been too active on it. What was your confirmation for taking that specific fair value gap? Wait, we were on SPY, right? We took SPY. The reason I took this, let me erase these for you. I'll even do a replay too. So I think I started looking at, I called it out like right here. So we had this liquidity on the 1 minute, and then this candle closed above this one. So this is a market structure shift, but it's on a smaller time frame. And then on top of that too, you had this little imbalance that was created. So that's why I said I'm gonna wait until this closes above so I can like confirm my bias. And then we waited, I think like 4 minutes. And then on that close I entered. Or that candle close I entered. It was a little bit early, but the trade was still good. How do I exit out of this? Oh, and like when you exit, since these are like scalps and short term, you just exit above the next areas of sweep. So you can look at the 5 minute. I had this marked out. It's just a previous swing high. You literally stop out retail traders that had like their stops here, and then you wait for something else to happen. And then we had nothing in the 15 minute. So that's why I said I'm personally gonna like scalp completely. But if it would have been another ticker, like let me erase these. Actually, no, I think was it Tesla? All right, let's just say we're a bullish in Apple. Like let's just say we took a trade here. The next 5 minute swing high would be here, and then on the 15 minute would be all over here. So that's how I'd mark out my levels. Dude, I'm not gonna be able to go through all these questions. There's still 220 to go. TT needs a fact document. Yeah, I'm working on one. The only issue is no one's gonna read it. Like I already have one on my 1K challenge account. It's pinned, and I can get the same questions at least 20 times a day. But I mean, nonetheless, I will make one post it soon. King caps. I trade setups and candles. Candles are still important. Fuck. I mean, I forgot what ticker it was that I said earlier. Was it SPY? I honestly forgot, dude. But I know I said something earlier based on how the candle closed. It might have been here. I might have to go back to the stream to know exactly what I said. But generally speaking, like candlesticks closures are also important. Like this is a 30-minute, and once we closed here, which is way below the open, I think I said we're going to retest the bottom. It was either this or SPY or possibly Apple. But if you go back to the stream when I went upload earlier, you'll hear me say that we're going to test the bottom of this. I just forgot what ticker I set it on. And like that wasn't a setup, but just based on how it closed, I can almost like analyze where it's head next. I have to leave like in 30 minutes, so I don't know if I'm gonna take another trade. All right, how about I spend 5 more minutes just answering questions or looking at what you guys want, and then I'm gonna head out. Does this seem decent, targeting the lower fair value gap? Is that SPY? Is that SPY? I don't know. I'm looking at. SPY. Okay, let's see. Why does your 50-minute look different than mine? Oh, do you not have the pre-market session? I think that's what's happening. Okay. No, your 15-minute is wrong. It would be right here. And the issue with this, it's way too big. How did you get yours so slim? I don't. Oh, did you mark it out of this one? No, it has. Dude, a fair value gap has to be between 3 candlesticks. So 1, 2, 3. That's where you mark it. You don't have the pre-market session on your platform. But I don't like this because it's massive. So I will look for lower time frames. Can you consider this challenge done and start fresh? If you guys want, I guess. Once I come back, I can decide. Do the principles of fair value app apply in longer time scale? Yeah, it's on every time frame. Actually, the bigger time frame, the more valid it is. Like the ones on 1 minute are a lot more riskier, and there's a bunch of them. There can be a bunch forming, and they're not too accurate. Tesla looked similar to SPY. If you guys remember, I had an alert here. This was a quick sweep in the 1 minute, and that was the market structure shift right there. So this would have been pretty much the same trade we just took on SPY for Tesla. And then you could have targeted that 5 minute. This was like a replica of what happened to SPY. This would have been a good trade too. Yeah, I don't know how to say your name, but Rog, the shorter the time frame, so if we were trading this on the 1 minute or 5 minute, the trades should not be taken like longer than 20 minutes. Majority, I think, of the trades I took in a challenge were all less than 30 minutes. Anything that held over an hour was almost basically a loss. Actually, I think my 2 losses I held over an hour. The second day on my trading account, I think I took SPY calls, and they weren't playing out, and I just took a loss. And then AMD last week, I think we held that for over an hour, and that was a loss. Yeah, AMD was long, yeah. So these quick liquidity sweeps, like, they should happen pretty fast. Just kind of like what was the first trade we took on QQQ? I don't even remember. Wait, I called this out at 10:26. It was here. Okay. Yeah, AMD sucked, but I'm glad I took it. I'm glad I took the loss because it kind of shows you like you can still have a bad day and just recover. Like I think it only took me 2 days to recover the loss, and it was a 20% loss too. But I held through to like my trading thesis and kept the trade running until it became invalid. Also, like I think any trade that lasts longer than 15 minutes, like people's emotions, like you know, their emotions start kicking in a lot more. But like QQQ was basically like instant. I think you guys made like 20% in like 6 minutes. And it had like no drawdown too. Can you look at QQQ? I think QQQ is still alright. But it's not fully bullish. I wouldn't be bullish on QQ until the 4-hour closes above like 518.4. And that might take a day or two. But we did get a fair value gap here. And we're kind of in it right now. So this could be a temporary bottom. Actually on the hourly too, we did get this closure above, which is good. If I were to long this, it would be a swing trade, and my stop would be a closure below this fair value gap. But I would be targeting the swing high at least. TT, are you talking? Yeah. Also, this 5-minute fair value gap is still in play until we get a closure below. Do you notice also how we wicked below? Like, imagine if you had a hard stop here, you would have got wicked out. So, look at Apple. All right, this will be the last thing I look at that I'm going to leave. What is this marked on? Just a 15-minute? So the issue with Apple, it's good. They had this market structure shift. However, on the 4-hour, we have this huge fair value gap. So it has a lot of downside still. I mean, that could potentially have been it, but I wouldn't be like, we could go back to like, we can go back to lower to this. So let's say that was the bottom. We also have this 5-minute here too, which we just retested. If you're in Apple, if this 5-minute candle closes above this previous one, I would be bullish. And then my stop loss would be just below this 5-minute. So if Apple closes right here, I'll be bullish. But there's still a minute left. So a shorter time frame, I think it's bullish, but this 4-hour fair value gap is I'll be wary about. You posting this live, this trade, I'm not taking this. I have to leave like in 10 minutes. But if you were to take this trade, I would target this 5-minute swing. And then above like, potentially, what do we get the high? It's possible. So if I was in this trade, I would just market it in as soon as that 5-minute closed. Same thing we did with, what did we just trade? SPY. Yeah, Apple calls would have been good. As soon as this 5-minute closed above, like I said, I would have grabbed calls here. But I'm not playing this. I'm also not going to monitor it either. All right, I'm going to end the stream. I'm going to get dressed and head out. Hope you guys had a good day. Take care.